Since World War I, the world's largest modern armies have played critical roles in shaping geopolitical landscapes and outcomes of major conflicts. These vast military forces, characterized by millions of soldiers, have been essential in both defensive and offensive operations. The size of these armies reflects not only the strategic ambitions and security concerns of their respective nations, but also their industrial capabilities and logistical proficiency. From global superpowers mobilizing to defend their ideologies during the Cold War to empires seeking to expand their territories, these formidable military forces have been involved in some of the most significant events of the 20th and 21st centuries. By examining these massive armies, one can better understand the scale and impact of their contributions to global history and military strategy. China, 2024. China's People's Liberation Army, PLA, is currently the world's largest military force, with approximately 2.18 million active personnel. This colossal force reflects China's strategic emphasis on maintaining a robust military presence to safeguard its national interests. The PLA's size dwarfs many of the Cold War-era armies. However, China's modern military is highly mechanized and equipped with advanced technology, allowing for rapid deployment and versatile combat capabilities. The size and capability of the PLA play a crucial role in regional and global security dynamics, influencing geopolitical balances and power structures. China's significant investments in military modernization further enhance its strategic posture, making it a formidable force in contemporary international relations. Ottoman Empire, World War I. During World War I, the Ottoman Empire fielded an army of approximately 2.9 million soldiers. Although not the largest in terms of sheer numbers, the Ottoman military played a significant role on multiple fronts. Their involvement extended from the Gallipoli campaign to the Middle Eastern theater, demonstrating considerable versatility and endurance. Compared to the other armies of the time, the Ottoman forces faced significant challenges, including logistical issues and internal political strife. Despite these obstacles, they managed to hold off numerically superior enemies for prolonged periods. The size of the Ottoman army was relatively smaller when compared to the great powers of Europe, but their strategic positions and control of key regions made them a formidable force in the global conflict. China, Korean War. During the Korean War, China fielded an army of over 3 million soldiers, with around 1 million troops directly involved in the conflict. This massive force played a decisive role in the war, particularly during the Chinese offensives that pushed United Nations forces southward. The sheer size of the Chinese army allowed them to sustain prolonged engagements despite heavy casualties. Compared to the Cold War-era armies, China's Korean War force was smaller in total numbers, but demonstrated remarkable resilience and tactical effectiveness. The involvement of such a large number of troops underscored China's commitment to supporting North Korea and resisting Western influence in the region, significantly impacting the war's outcome and establishing China as a major military power. The United States, Cold War. During the Cold War era, the United States maintained a peacetime military force that peaked at around 3.5 million soldiers. This large standing army was essential for the U.S.'s global presence and deterrence strategy against the Soviet Union. Although smaller than the World War II numbers, the Cold War military was technologically advanced and strategically deployed worldwide. The U.S. military's focus was on readiness and rapid deployment, with significant investments in nuclear weapons, aircraft, and naval power. The size and capability of the U.S. military during this period were critical in maintaining the balance of power and preventing large-scale conflicts through a strategy of deterrence and containment. The U.S. also engaged in numerous proxy wars to counter Soviet influence. Soviet Union, Cold War. The Soviet Union's military during the Cold War was one of the largest in history, with an estimated peak strength of around 5 million soldiers. This immense force was crucial for the USSR's global influence and its confrontation with the United States. Compared to the U.S. Cold War military of 3.5 million, The Soviet army was significantly larger, reflecting its emphasis on conventional land forces. The Soviet military was heavily armed with tanks, artillery, and aircraft, prepared for large-scale engagements in Europe. The size and readiness of the Soviet forces were central to the Cold War's strategic dynamics, maintaining a constant state of alert against perceived threats from NATO and other adversaries. The extensive Soviet military capabilities were a key component of the superpower rivalry. Japanese Imperial Army, World War II. During World War II, the Japanese Imperial Army boasted around 6 million soldiers at its peak. This force played a crucial role in Japan's extensive military campaigns across Asia and the Pacific. The Japanese forces were renowned for their discipline, innovative tactics, and the ability to conduct operations in diverse and challenging environments. However, their size was still dwarfed by the larger armies of the Allies and Axis powers. The vast number of soldiers allowed Japan to initially secure numerous victories, but eventually they faced overwhelming opposition and logistical strains, leading to their defeat. Japan's wartime strategies and atrocities have left a lasting impact on international relations. British Empire, World War I. The British Empire's army during World War I mobilized around 8.9 million soldiers. This sizable force was essential in various theaters of the war, including the Western Front, Middle East, and Africa. The British Army's strategic importance and global reach were significant. The British Expeditionary Force played a crucial role in key battles such as the Somme and Passchendaele. The Army's size and the Empire's vast resources allowed it to maintain prolonged engagements against the Central Powers. The British military's contributions were vital in the eventual Allied victory, demonstrating the effectiveness of a well-coordinated and resource-rich fighting force. The extensive mobilization also had lasting impacts on British society and its colonies. United States, World War II. The United States military during World War II expanded to over 12 million soldiers. This massive force was crucial in both the European and Pacific theaters, demonstrating remarkable industrial and logistical capabilities. American forces played pivotal roles in key operations such as D-Day, the Battle of the Bulge, and the island-hopping campaign in the Pacific. The vast size of the U.S. military allowed for sustained offensives on multiple fronts, contributing significantly to the eventual Allied victory. Post-war, the U.S. maintained a significant military presence globally, transitioning into a leading superpower with extensive influence in global affairs and security. Nazi Germany, World War II. Nazi Germany's Wehrmacht during World War II reached a peak strength of about 12.5 million soldiers. This formidable force was instrumental in executing Hitler's aggressive expansionist strategy, which led to the rapid conquest of much of Europe. The Wehrmacht was known for its advanced tactics, mechanization, and the Blitzkrieg strategy, which initially gave them a significant advantage. However, as the war dragged on, they faced increasingly well-coordinated Allied forces and stretched supply lines, leading to significant losses. Despite its initial successes, the German military ultimately succumbed to the overwhelming resources and manpower of the Allies, marking a significant turning point in the war. Russian Empire, World War I. The Russian Empire's army in World War I was one of the largest of its time, with over 15 million soldiers mobilized. This vast force was critical in the Eastern Front, engaging in brutal and extensive battles against the Central Powers. Despite its size, the Russian military faced severe logistical issues, outdated equipment, and low morale, which hampered its effectiveness. The sheer number of troops allowed Russia to absorb massive losses, but internal strife, including the Russian Revolution, ultimately led to the empire's collapse. The enormous Russian army highlighted the challenges of managing and sustaining such a large force in the face of modern warfare's demands. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below.